What's wrong, Metal Gear Guy? To the moon, huh? Wow. If it made Metal Gear Guy cry, it must be really, really sad. I mean, that guy took a shuriken to the chest last episode and he's perfectly fine. I probably shouldn't play it, let alone promise on an open and public space that it'll be the subject of my next review. Macintosh operating systems! Okay guys, I'm going to try and get through this review with as little crying as possible. Now I won't lie, I'm still refining my review style, so let me know in the comments what was good and what I should work on. Now in today's review, I'll be going over 5 areas of critique and then one final note. Those areas are story, gameplay, presentation, family friendliness, and replayability. Now without further babbling, let's go on, shall we? Now the story is that
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm all better now.
in the near future, 2 doctors come to an old man named Johnny, who is at death's door. As it turns out, Johnny is their client. Before he dies, he has one final wish he wants fulfilled: to go to the moon. Seems a little random, but that's nothing compared to what happens next, and is regarded as normal pretty quickly. This wish can be fulfilled by using what appears to be a beta of the Animus, allowing you to go through and edit people's memories to fulfill their wildest fantasies. Let me stop here to take a moment to talk about our 2 protagonists. You have Dr. Watts and Dr. Rosalie. Both have very distinct personalities and characteristics that bounce off each other very nicely. They remind me of the eternal sibling rivalry disagreement that stretches on for years, but gets put on hold the instant something important comes up. Girls are stupid. Our patient is dying. If he was a boy, he wouldn't be dying. He is a boy. I won't fall for your tricks, silly girl. I won't say much more other than this story is deep. I mean, novel deep. A story of this caliber deserves major recognition and study. You won't find any spoilers here, but I do have this to say. While it is well written, it is far from uplifting or encouraging. Though honestly, quite a few moments did strike a deep chord in me. Later on, you come to discover Johnny's wife, River, suffers from a vague personality disorder syndrome, a disease striking many fictional characters who live in a world where the very mention of an actual illness is considered offensive.
Actually, she suffers from autism.
No specifics! She suffers from a generic personality disorder and you will like it! Anyway, the reason this hit me so hard is we all know someone, or are that someone, who can't express their emotions the same as the other 90% of the world. It can be tough to understand that to this person, things like smiling, hugs, or even saying I love you doesn't come naturally, and instead is a learned behavior. It can be tough, and this story hits you hard with this. For now, let's just say that Rain truly and with all her heart loves Johnny, but has a very hard time showing it. And the worst part is knowing that from the beginning she's dead, and no matter how hard you work, you can never truly bring her back. There really isn't much to speak of here. It's mostly just walking around and clicking on things. Barring a few puzzles and 2 minigame sections, that's all there is to it. But it seems that was the intent. I mean, the entire experience makes it clear that it's story first and game second. The gameplay is nothing memorable, but that isn't the focus. I mean, it'd be like criticizing the story of a Mario game. That's not what it's all about.
Personally, I feel that the Mario Brothers series was intricately deep in its usage of several different story mechanics, such as the common plumber taking on an all-powerful tyrant, and the collection of coins showing an attempt to survive in the economic crisis. And of course, also, there's the
Can you feel the love?
This is one of those games I talk about when people tell me that all good presentation comes solely from graphics. This story is well placed and beautifully presented. What it lacks in the visual department, it makes up for in the music. It sets the mood that little pixel people can't do on their own. There are a few cuss words here and there, some small violence, but in my opinion this game is more traumatizing to an adult audience, or at least older teen. The underlining themes of last wishes, death, true love, meaning of life, what is reality, and possible drug abuse not to mention that these people are playing God in a dying man's mind. This is some heavy stuff here. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone who gets easily depressed like me when playing this. Just writing this review is bumming me out again. It's not very violent, but if you get attached to these characters, it can be pretty emotionally scarring. Virtually non-existent. Unless you want to play it again to get a better understanding of the story, there is really no reason to replay this. Barring a few superfluous choices, it plays through the exact same way every time. I'm not quite sure how to rate this one. As an indie game, it's one of the best, and as an overall product, it's amazing and appropriately priced. And on a personal note, I absolutely hated it. Depressed me all day, and I had to really think hard on it to feel okay about the story. It tore me up, and I don't ever want to play it again. That being said, I do want to buy the sequel, so it did something seriously right. Overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. With an amazing storyline and some truly wonderful music, it is well worth your time. I had to drop it 2 points on account of it lacking any real character art, and for just darn making me depressed all day. It's about 4 hours long and currently $10 on Steam, and trust me, that is a great deal for a product of this quality. Metal Gear Guy, it's okay to be sad and cry sometimes. It's good for the soul.
The soul?
Actually, there's scientific evidence supporting that when you cry, it releases certain chemicals out of your body, causing less of the painful hormones to cause you sadness, and releasing good endorphins into your system.
Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Feel free to comment and give your own opinions.
Ha 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 ha!